Welcome, everybody, to the U16 pod. I'm Ryan MacArthur.
And I'm Connor Williams. And on the last episode of the U16 pod, we had the chance to talk to two amazing players in Hunter McKenzie from the Halton Hurricanes U16 AAA program and Amari Sellers from the Toronto Red Wings U16 AAA program. And just once again, a massive thanks to those two players for joining us on the U16 pod, taking the time to give us some insight into their game and their personality off the ice as well. We really appreciate them taking the time. So if you haven't checked that episode out yet, be sure to check it out on YouTube, or feel free to listen to it on whatever podcast platforms you listen to your podcasts on. So go check that one out. But in terms of today's episode, before we get into any hockey, Ryan, we did want to kind of address just the environment behind our messages that we receive, whether it be Twitter, Instagram, or inquiries on email at the U16pod@gmail.com. One of the things we just wanted to say is if you have any inquiries, whether it be constructive criticism, kind of things you wanted to address with us, or positive feedback, all we ask is that it's done in kind of a respectful manner. We try to reply in as professional manner and respectful manner as possible. So honestly, all we ask is some respect as well, in that sense of the word. And I think, Ryan, you agree with me there.
Yeah, I mean, some of the messages we've got lately were pretty cringeworthy and really tough to read for us. So I know like a lot of times people won't agree with what we say, but like we're always up for a healthy debate. But once it kind of crosses that line, we're just not going to respond, right?
No, absolutely. And we're both really trying to balance just the sport and our personal lives as well. I know I'm currently in third year of university.
Exactly.
And it's so tough sometimes to get to every game sometimes and be in every place. I know you've said this in a tweet before. We wish we could clone ourselves and be everywhere at the same time, but unfortunately, it's just not possible. So we do thank those who bear with us, and as we do our best here with the podcast. But just wanted to put that little address out there and address that there to our listeners and audience. But on to hockey here for this episode here. Like we usually do, we're gonna go through a little kind of recap of some scores before we get into the Kitchener Blueline tournament that happened. So we'll go through some scores here. I'll start with the Great North Midget League here. First bit of games. There was 5 games in the past week from November 10th to the 16th here. First up, Sudbury U16 topped the North Bay U18 team 5-4. The Sioux Junior Greyhounds U18 team topped Timmins 4-2. Sudbury U16 topped Kapuskasing 2-0. Sioux U18 topped Timmins 2-1. And Sudbury U18 topped Kapuskasing 5-2 as well. They're up in the Great North Midget League. So some big wins up in the Great North Midget League there. So jumping then into the HEO, Hockey Eastern Ontario. We did have the chance to talk to a couple Hockey Eastern Ontario players in this episode. So we'll stay tuned for those couple great interviews there with that regard. But just going through the scores here, I'll just run through them here. Just a quick recap. OHA beat Hawkesbury 6-2. Nepean topped OHA 6-2 as well. Kemptville topped Hawkesbury 5-4. Renfrew topped Ottawa 3-0. Navan topped Carleton Place 4-2. Smiths Falls topped Rockland 4-2. And Brockville topped Cornwall 3-2 as well. And then on the second day, because what we ended up learning was in the HEO, they have a 2-day kind of showcase there where they all just play out at the same rinks there. And just scouts get to see them all in Ottawa. Well, except for us, unfortunately, because we don't live there. But so second day of their showcase that they had there, Smiths Falls won 3-2 against Pembroke. Renfrew won 7-1 versus Brockville. Carleton Place topped Kemptville 4-3. Rockland beat Nepean 2-1. Cornwall beat Ottawa 5-2. And Navan topped Hawkesbury 4-1 as well. So just some outstanding scores there, outstanding hockey out in the HEO there. So be sure to, anyone in HEO or Great North Midget League has any video or anything they want to kind of make us aware of, want to send our way, we'd love to see that, kind of include that in kind of a recap here, and you put it on social media as well. So that'd be greatly appreciated with that regard. But great week out in HEO and Great North Midget League as well. And then next bunch of scores we have here, the Alliance scores. We're going to go to the Alliance here. First bit, we got Waterloo topping Brantford 4-3, and Waterloo tied here on Perth 2-2. Elgin Middlesex topped Brantford 4-1. And then Lambton topped London 5-3. So big win for Lambton there in the Alliance. And then Elgin Middlesex stayed hot there with another 3-0 win over Windsor here. And then Lambton continuing a little streak here of wins, 3-1 versus the Hamilton Huskies. So, and then Windsor is the last game here in that week, tied London 2-2 on the Alliance there. So kind of big wins for some teams on the Alliance there. Elgin Middlesex kind of putting together some wins, big time wins out in the Alliance there. So great to see in that regard. And then we'll jump into the SCTA now with a little scoring recap. First up, Burlington top Guelph 4-1. The Hamilton Junior Bulldogs had a big win 4-2 over Niagara, handing Niagara their first loss of the SCTA regular season. I had the chance to be at that game actually, so I'll give you some insight here, our listeners and audience, and you, Ryan, some insight. I mean, you gave me some great tidbit into kind of Hamilton because you've seen them before, and just kind of they play as a group, and the way they play as a whole unit. You told me, and man, watching that game, they really do play as a whole unit. They work hard, they really get after it. They don't give you much, and in that game, the big players for those big kind of, I guess we could describe them as big three players for Niagara of Luca Testa, Parker Forlan, and Andrew Vermeulen. Hamilton was not giving up much to those guys, and they were playing them hard, playing them tough, and it was a tough game for those guys. And Hamilton, they came out hard, came out fast, and they were pushing it, and they went after and got those 4 goals. And one player in particular, I know you all got the chance, and you were impressed. I mean, your views of him as well. One player that I really liked was number 92, Braden Russell.
Yeah.
Just overall, really kind of gets in the dirty areas, gets hard worker. He moves well, really shrugs off checks, kind of rolls off them as well. Smooth skating with his mobility, able to kind of maneuver around guys. There was plays where he kind of put the puck into an area, guy would go for a hit, and he just kind of mohawk around the guy and move around. But he gets in those areas, finds really nice passing lanes as well, and hits those passes right in the seam as well, which is great. And then number 9, Lowe for Hamilton had a really nice game as well. Finds the open areas, gets in the dirty areas, goes to the front of the net. Kind of does a lot of the hard work that you like to see from players there. Another player who's been leading the up in the scoring there in the SCTA is Dean DeLaGeorgis. He really kind of, I can see why he gets so many points there because he's not afraid to go to the net, and he just gets there and he just plants himself there, and it's tough to move. He really works hard. He battles for position, and then when he's not in front of that, he's down low. He's working for it. He gets under there and he gets under guys' skin and uses his body. He's not the biggest guy necessarily in terms of height, but he's got some strength to him, and he really uses that body as leverage and really wins a lot of battles in that regard as well. So those are some guys I really like that at Hamilton. Dominic DiFrancesco had a really nice snipe in that game as well. I was really impressed with Owen Petrucci as well in Niagara North. Really high work ethic player, lots of hustle from him. So just a tremendous game overall there, and really great win for Hamilton to kind of stop Niagara's undefeated season there, Ryan.
Yeah, and actually, I was at the game just last night where Niagara avenged that game and won. They won 2-1 against Hamilton, so that was pretty good. The game I was at, like, the thing that really stood out for me was Parker Forlan. When he's on and he's flying, like, wow, he's a really high end prospect, and he had a big game in that one. So that was a big game because I actually, when I was there, I didn't remember that Hamilton had won before. So, like, it was a pretty intense game, and that was kind of why, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, it was a really tight game as well. I think the score ended up being a final 2-1. So just really close game, and you want to see that with a bunch of top teams playing each other in that regard. And I mean, I also you saw Niagara play Thursday night. I got the chance to see him again this past Wednesday against Halton. Halton again. Halton tried to avenge their earlier season loss. Much closer game despite the score being 5-2. Our previous guest, Hunter McKenzie, man, he's just everywhere, man. Another thing I noticed with him is just his face-off ability. Any chance Halton was getting, they were matching him up against Luca Testa and Parker Forlan, who were on the same line there. Just money. Ben Theron was looking good. Another player who really stood out to me was Matthew Coates. Niagara North really trusts him defensively. They put him on the PK. He's a consistent penalty killer. Gets himself in the right spots defensively. Works hard down low. He's not the strongest player in terms of strength, but he works hard, and he's got that high work ethic, and he's not going to give anything up easily, which is great. And he had a really nice goal off of great stick positioning and took it up, and then great finish in alone under pressure there. So Niagara ended up taking that game 5-2 over Halton, but it was much closer than the score would suggest. Halton really battled hard. A lot of their players were getting in the dirty areas, really putting in the work ethic. In that regard, they just couldn't quite find the back of the net so every so often. So it's great to see kind of everything's kind of picking up here as the season goes along. So that's great to see there. But kind of just finishing up with the SCTA scores. Hamilton also topped Brampton 3-2. Southern Tier topped Guelph 4-2. Niagara topped Southern Tier 6-2. Halton topped Grey Bruce 2-0. Hamilton topped Grey Bruce 7-2. Brampton topped Southern Tier 4-3. And then right after that, they would also win. Brampton would also win 3-0 again in their next game against Southern Tier as well. And then Halton would tie Brampton 1-1. So there's some SCTA score updates there. So we'll jump into the ETA scores here. And you got the chance to attend a game, and we'll get to that in a second. I'll run through it, and you can let me know when that game comes up here. So, but first we'll start off with the Central Ontario Wolves tying Whitby 2-2. We got another tie between York Simcoe and Clarington 2-2. And then Ajax Pickering beat Peterborough 7-0. Quinny beat North Central 4-3. Richmond Hill topped Kingston 4-0. Kingston topped North Central 4-1. And then Quinty tied York Simcoe 3-3. And I understand you were actually at that game between Quinty and York Simcoe. So any chance you can give us a little bit of thought into that great tie between Quinty and York Simcoe there?
Yeah, that was an unbelievable game, honestly. Two of the top teams in the ETA. Yeah, it was good. The Braden Rogers got a big goal. Ethan Thomas did a nice backhand sauce pass and right on Rogers' stick, and he wired it. And that was a nice one. And we put that on our Instagram. And then Davis from YSE had a nice, really nice shootout goal. So that was a pretty Cole Davis, right?
Yep, Cole Davis.
Yeah, he was solid. Like he's a player that I've noticed, and actually in the summer I noticed him and I liked him a lot. So it was nice to kind of see him get that shootout goal. It was a really nice goal, and yeah, like I don't know, I was a little distracted at the game. I was busy with I was kind of working, so I don't really have too much more about the game, like really in particular, but those two teams are unbelievable. Like, I mean, I've gone on and on about Quinty and YSE on past episodes, so I just don't want to like kind of repeat myself because Quinty's a team that I happen to see a lot. So
yeah, absolutely. So wrapping up here, three more scores for everyone from the ETA. Ajax topped Richmond Hill 7-1, and then Markham topped Peterborough 9-3, and the Waxers also topped Central Ontario 5-1. So there's kind of a weekly recap from the ETA there. So that was lots of scores, lots of things happening in the ETA as we slowly approach the Silver Stick, which will be kind of a little marker there within the season, almost like a quarter mark, I guess you could say. But great things happening in ETA recently as well. Lots of tight games going on there. So we'll jump into the GTHL now. The last league we'll cover here before we get into the Kitchener Blueline turning. So GTHL here. First off, we got Don Mills topping the Reps 8-1. Titans beating the Rebels 1-0. Tight game there. Vaughan topping the Red Wings 5-1. And then the Sens topping the Marlies 3-1 there. And then great weekend there in the past weekend here with Thunder Bay making their debut in the GTHL. Just really great to have Thunder Bay in the GTHL with the exposure that they'll be able to get, the games they'll be able to play. Unfortunately, we weren't specifically able to get out to those games, and unfortunately, we can't exactly, we aren't well endowed enough to afford a game on account to be able to watch some of those games. But we were able to provide some scoring updates from those games in Thunder Bay. But it was a great ceremony. We saw some of the updates with that in regard. I'm really happy to have Thunder Bay in the GTHL now. So when they do come for some more weekends, we will be happy to get out there, and we'll be seeing them at the Silver Stick too. So we're excited for that. But their first game in the G was against the JRC. Tough game to start off in the GTHL with unfortunately 6-1 loss for Thunder Bay against the JRC there. Then their next game, the Marlies, Marlboroughs topped them 8-2. Then they played against the Red Wings. Red Wings won 5-2 there. So, and then Vaughan in another game tied Don Mills 2-2. Tight game there, Vaughan and Don Mills. And then Markham Majors topped the North York Rangers 4-1. I do want to note, just in case I know we've mentioned it briefly in maybe past episodes, or maybe we've been remiss, but it's important to note that there have been players injured for North York in recent games. Kevin He is a significant injury who's been out for North York, who's a big time player for them. So we do want to note that, and that has likely impacted, their play and all that, because Kevin He is an impactful player, Ryan, and I know you agree with me there.
Oh yeah, Kevin, he is unbelievable. In the summer, I was just blown away watching him play. Every game I saw him play, he'd get 3+ points. Sometimes he'd get like 6 points, 7 points. Like really, really dynamic offensively and really fast, really, really powerful. Like he doesn't look like the biggest guy, but he'll like absolutely blow you up. Like he'll skate right through you. He's just a little like a rocket,
Yeah.
unbelievable player. And I'm missing watching him play. I can't wait until he's back because he's one of my favorite players in the whole draft.
Yeah, absolutely. No fear in this player at all.
Yeah.
So
Oh yeah.
he's definitely a player that's been missed. And another player that's also been absent in some recent games due to injury is Luke Ellenas, another big time player for North York, another top
Yeah.
prospect. So we just wanted to note that in case in case we maybe didn't mention that in the past or whatnot. So I just want to put that out there that North York had been missing those players, but Markham topped North York 4-1 there in that game. Markham then played Thunder Bay and won 8-0 there. Don Mills played the Titans and won 4-1. And then there was a big game between the JRC and the Sens. Our good buddy Rain Hernandez with RCAH Sports was there at that game. He gave me some little tidbits on how the game went and all that. But the JRC topped them 6-2. Really close game. Paolo Frasca with the JRC really had an outstanding game in goal. Lane was telling me, just stood on his head. Lots of chances for the Sens. JRC were able to capitalize on a lot of their chances and really showed why they are a top team in the U16 AAA. So don't take them lightly. We are not taking the JRC lightly. JRC still remain undefeated on the season, not just in the GTHL, but in play. In Ontario U16 AAA play. They won the Markham tournament, went undefeated there, and they've continued that hot streak into the GTHL season. So JRC are going to be a team to watch out for, and good Lord, help the teams in their group in the Silver Stick there. So
well, yeah, I'm going to catch them this weekend, so I'm really pumped about that. Like, haven't seen them for a while since their game against Vaughan, and yeah, so yeah, it'll be good to see them.
Yeah, so because they usually play on the Sundays at Scotiabank Pond. Sundays, Scotiabank
Yeah,
Pond.
that's a game I'm going to. Yeah.
Yeah, so it'll be exciting to catch them out. So JRC had a big win against the Sens there, 6-2. So congrats on them on a big win. And then the Sens played the Nats and won 4-0. And I know you had the chance to be at that Sens versus Nats game. So what did you think of that game? I know there's a few highlight plays that were worth putting on the social media there. So what was that game like to be at?
Oh yeah, no, that was really fun. So 4-0. I caught the Nats in the game, obviously, but I didn't catch them at the Kitchener Blueline. They actually made the finals and lost to North Bay in the finals of the Kitchener Blueline tournament. But this was after the tournament. They got the Sens, and the Sens beat them 4-0. So I want to go through a couple guys in the Nats first. So Ryerson Leanders, number 31, the goalie, he was really good. Really, really great, like reactionary saves, incredibly athletic, really good glove and like quick reflexes. So even though it was a 4-0 Sens win, I would say that like he had a pretty solid game. He saw a lot of pucks, a lot of shots in that game. And he had a great tournament in Kitchener. I'm looking at the stats here. In 4 games, he had a .95 goals against average. That was like tied for first, basically. So yeah, like it doesn't surprise me his stats were so good and he did so well in Kitchener because he looked great against the Sens. And I got a couple guys on the Nats that I want to just talk about quickly. Nash Giles. This is a player I noticed at draft day, and I really liked him there. He's really he's kind of good at that elusiveness. He's a good skater. He cuts middle effectively, wins puck battles, gets to pucks first. really good skater, and he has the puck on his stick a lot. Like he'll get it in open space, and he can go for a bit of a skate with it. Like he'll have it for 20, 30, 40 seconds, and maybe not 40 seconds, but
Yeah.
he'll have it for quite a bit of time against a team like the Sens. And that's really telling to me. Like I find if you can hold puck possession for that long against a team like as good defensively as a team as the Mississauga Sens, I think that says a lot. And I think wicked lateral movement with Giles, like all kinds of good stuff. Like I think he's a good player. Um, and the other guy on the Nats that I liked was Justin Pavis, number 16, forward. He's just got a good motor, good skater. Looks really sturdy on his skates. And I was looking at the Kitchener Blueline tournament, and both those guys ended up with 4 points in the tournament. So yeah, they're definitely got players to watch. And then getting into the Sens, Aiden Kelly. Wow. I don't know if people have been to our Instagram yet or my Twitter page, but Hayden Kelly pulled off a beautiful goal, incredible display of hands. How would you describe that one? That's a good one, eh?
Oh, I'd call it a dirty dangle right there. Just a toe drag and then just a rip,
Oh,
just top cheese. Like you can't even like you talked about Ryerson Leaders having a great game, and even though it was 4-0, like you can't even like watching the goals. The three of the goals specifically were just snipes. Like you can't
oh
even
yeah,
like
no
you can't
chance.
shoot the puck any better than like Kelly off the rush after his dangle in stride, just rips it. Might as well be bar down there. Like how like what? So dirty dangle. That's
Yeah,
what I'd say.
yeah. I was glad I got the camera out for that game. I think I'm gonna do the same thing for the JRT at the next one. Just go to their end and film the whole thing. Because if you film them, you're bound to get something good. And um, yeah, I know. I
Totally.
just
Yeah. No, and
yeah,
I you also got a couple nice ones for Malcolm Spence, who is
yeah,
showing off that heck of a shot he has. Just the quick release he has on the shot, man. Like what is like you don't even stand a chance sometimes when he shoots the puck. I saw those shots and it took me back to the game I saw when they played the Red Wings and he had a breakaway. And it's just a quick release and he doesn't give the goalie any time to set up, which is I mean, it's terrific, which is what you want to see, which will translate at the next level for getting that shot off quickly there. So it sounds like it was a great game between the Sens and Nets in that
yeah,
regard
yeah.
there.
And like I would say on the one, another thing that stood out was on the one goal by Spence. Patterson. Patterson had a good game, Riley Patterson, and he made a nice pass to Spence there. I think in the overall in the game, like his shot, it's just insane. Like the release is so quick, and he gets it off with great velocity. And Leander's made some nice stops on him, and he just missed the net on a couple of them. But and I don't know, Patterson, we talked a lot about him on the pod. Really, really good player. Like he's really powerful overall, really powerful motor, powerful skater. Everything's powerful shot. Even that pass was a powerful pass to Spence. Like it was right in the stick, crisp, boom. Like it hit a seam. I don't know if you noticed, but there was not a lot of room in that
Yeah.
seam. Like it went, it was like a dart, right? Right on the stick, and it was beautiful to watch. I'm really glad I went to that game. It was a really good game. But yeah, no, like I could go through like basically the Sens, the whole team. They're like, I mean, like Misa got a nice assist passing to Brady Wasink. Eggleton was flying around. Turley played well. Bodie Stewart was throwing the body, getting in there, getting involved, doing well. Frasca, Hin hit the post on a nice chance there, almost got a goal. Hin had a good game. He's very physical and aggressive. And William Moore, like we mentioned before, those 207s, Michael Misa and William Moore, they were doing their thing, right? So I mean, their whole team is good, and those are the ones that kind of really stood out in the game. But you could
Yeah.
basically list the whole roster. They're just stacked, right?
No, absolutely. And um, great. It's always great to catch the Sens, and obviously we're really excited for you to go check out the JRC. on the Sunday game. It'll be a big game there. JRC and Marlies will be playing, so we'll be really excited to provide that recap of the JRC game in our next episode. So stay tuned for all our JRC fans. We will be getting some more in-depth coverage of the JRC as we go on. Sometimes it's tough for us to get out. We try to get out to as many games as possible, so we will be getting to our as big time JRC coverage there in the next episode. So last game I got written down here for scores. Vaughan top the Titans 3-0, but that's kind of the week that was in the GTHL as well. Got a recap of all the U16 leagues there going on. But like I mentioned earlier, the Kitchener Blueline tournament happened last weekend, and it was a really good tournament. And like you mentioned when you're talking about Ryerson Leaders, North Bay Trappers U16 AAA program won the tournament. Big time tournament for them. Really great effort from them. I know you had the chance to be there, especially. I was working a couple Ice Dogs games as an off-ice official, but you had the chance to be there, especially get a first-hand look. So, what was that? What was the Blueline tournament like there, Ryan?
Oh, unbelievable. I was lucky. I actually happened to catch North Bay twice in the tournament. So that was really awesome considering that they ended up winning it. That was a good overall tournament. I spent most of the week, like Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I spent most of the time watching U15, just based on some stuff I'm working on. But yeah, I got to some U16 games. So let's go through a couple of the games I went to. We'll go through all of them, right? So the first one I saw was North Bay versus Guelph, a 2-2 tie. So North Bay, man, like some players that really stood out in that game. Anthony Boyce, number 5, he got a nice goal, like a nice finish. He drove to the net and after a steal and made a nice finish. Caleb Dawson, number 10. He got a nice deke finish, and it was a like nice deke backhand finish, deke clean, goalie clean. And he's a player I really like throughout the event. Like he's tall, he's listed at 6 foot, really solid forward. Like I think he's a left winger. Yeah, he plays left wing. Like he never plays center, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, no, he's really good. Like really like kind of big body, and skates well, and kind of motors up and down that wing, and like he's gets the puck, he makes good decisions with it. I like that player a lot. We've mentioned before Mason Ray and Zachary Major. Ray's just got that skating, right? The quick feet. He gets the pucks first and wins a lot of battles just by like getting there first. And if not, he's got the hands to kind of like knock it away. And he's got that reach too. So he's a good player. I like him a lot. Really, really fast. Like probably the fastest on the ice in that game. And Zachary Major is just a beast. Like below the dots, he's super tough. Defenseman. He got the that gorgeous tournament-winning assist that made the rounds on social media. I don't know if everyone's seen that, but I was 6 points in the tournament, which was tied for tops with teammate Nate Gravel. So yeah, like you remember that one, the tournament winner that's been on social media?
Oh, yeah. We reshared it from his page.
Yeah.
So he put that online. So we reshared that. So it was a tremendous play overall in that tournament OT winner there, which was great to see. And he's just an outstanding player in and of itself there. So really great overall team effort there for North Bay, I think, as well.
Yeah, no, definitely. Like that spinorama pass, that was just unbelievable. But yeah, just overall, North Bay. I'll talk a little bit more about some of their other players in the next game, because some of them stood out in that next game more than this first game. But let's go into Guelph a little bit. The guy I really like on Guelph is Ryan McDougall, number 92. He's a left defenseman. He's tall. Yeah, like he's got great feet. He skates really well. He's got a really long stride, and kind of just he's always in the right position because his skating is so good. Just a D that I really like powerful shots from the point. I remember I was talking to you on the phone, actually. I was talking about how my week was going because I had some stuff that had happened. I don't know, we're buddies, so I just gave you a call. While we were talking, he sniped, like I was kind of watching a game from like upstairs in like the warm area, like, but I could only see like half the ridge. And he sniped one from far, like he was on basically just inside the blue line, snipe top corner. And I found out later that ended up being the game-winning goal in that game. I don't even know who they were playing, but they won 4-3. And he's a really good player. Like, yeah, he had 4 points in the event. Oh, he didn't even get credit for a goal. That went straight in, wasn't tipped. There's no way. So yeah, he's a good player. 4 points was second tournament. The tournament scoring was really low. Not a lot of goals scored. So good on the goalies there. But like a couple other guys that stood out for me, Joshua Davis, number 17. He's got great hands and tight. He's like excellent with puck possession and maneuvering through defenders. And yeah, he's got a nice shot release. Like he was creating chances, and he's got great balance, good skater. He looked really solid. Liam Wood, number 49. He's strong. He got a nice goal. Stepped in, finished low from the slot, and he just seems to kind of put himself in the right spot for scoring chances. Like he's always kind of patrolling the middle, and yeah, like really tough to contain in the offensive end, and kind of a complete player overall. Another one, Vincent Picone, 89. He's a defenseman, an 07 playing up, really good skater. So that's another one, yeah, that I really liked from Guelph. So yeah, and then the next game I went to was the next North Bay game, and man, they played the Kitchener Junior Rangers, and Caleb Papineau, MVP of the tournament. He had the tied for the top goals against, .95. He's unbelievable, 6'3", really good goalie, great athleticism. Like he reacts to pucks so well. I remember there was this one puck coming in, and it was a nice shot from the point. It got tipped, and it changed direction pretty good. Like 9 times out of 10, you're going to see that puck hit the back of the net. But he made a quick reaction and just kicked that pad out and stopped it. And it was unbelievable. Like he was on fire. He ended up letting in 2 in that game. But even the 2 he let in, it was like the one just kind of hit the defenseman, bounced down, and like it was bad luck, right? Like it wasn't like it wasn't his fault by any means. So he's definitely a really good goalie. And sneak peek, we're going to have him on next week. So talk to him about his MVP performance on the next pod. So look out for that. And yeah, just overall with who else do we got here in this game? Oh, okay. Player I really want to bring up, Jesse Lefebvre. He's the one, he ended up getting the game-winning, like the tournament-winning goal. He got that pass from Zach Major. He's unbelievable. Like he's smaller. He's only 5'7", 135 is what he's listed at here. Wow, he hits. And it's awesome to watch. He'll just lay guys out. Like in the game against Kitchener, he probably got like 8 hits where he just leveled someone and they just went flying. Like, and he's not that big. You gotta love that, eh?
Oh, you love that in a player, that fearlessness and that aggressiveness, just laying guys out. Don't care what your size is. That finishing checks is huge, especially if you're looking to go on into the next level, no matter what level that is. That is awesome. Just seeing that fearlessness and that aggressiveness there, no matter the size he has there. So that's great. That's great to hear from my end, especially there.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, like, I got a note here. I forgot about this now. That's why I take notes, right? He had a 1T blast and hit the corner bar, and he smoked it. Like it was really nice. Like he kind of did a nice skating maneuver and got open, got a pass, and just hammered it right off the corner bar. Gorgeous, like unbelievable player. I really like him a lot. Like he's really tenacious. I'm like, yeah, like that what you said, no fear. Like that that's huge, and it goes a long way, right? Like even if you're 5'7", if you play like you're 6'3", like it, it shows. It shows when you play with no fear, right?
Yep.
Um, and then going through, I got boys. I like boys. Lefebvre, uh, Ray Major, same sort of thing. Nate Gravel had a much better game in the second game I saw him. And he ended up tied for first in points in the tournament with 6 with Zach Major. But Gravel, like, he had a lot of jump, a lot of jam, really moving good, like great hands, great moves. Top to stop. Like he had the puck a lot of puck possession, really, really good player. And he, like, I could see what all the hype was about in the second game. Because like we've been kind of told, like, Gravel, he's really good. Heard a lot from our colleagues up north and that. And with this speed and those quick hands, I could see why he's getting a lot of attention. That's for sure. And then there's these 2 Bradley twins, Heath Bradley and Grayson Bradley. Big kids, like 6'3", and they can move and they can hit, and they do a lot of good stuff. So when they're moving, like, they look pretty good. And I like Mason Brownlee as well, number 67. He was also solid. So yeah, though, that's good. Good job for North Bay winning that tournament, that's for sure. And then just to talk about a couple guys from Kitchener. I like Alex Simeone, right defenseman. He skates well, moves well. Luke Blankhorn, number 15. He's got a good motor, another good defenseman, right defenseman. And Dominic Gedja, center. He's a smaller center, but he does the breakout on the power play, so they leave the puck behind the net for him, and he just zips out, and, like, man, he's fast. Like, he gets it. He does these big loops and whatever it takes to kind of, like, skate through everybody, and that's their zone entry. That's the plan. So they just rely on him and his speed, and he gets it done, which is, like, really cool. Like, because the team knows it's coming, right? And he can still do it. So I thought that was really impressive, just that aspect of his game. But not much more in Kitchener that really stood out for me. That was mostly a better game by North Bay, I'd say. But yeah, they got those few players that stood out in that game in particular. And I'm almost there. 2 more. So yeah, the next one was Oakville and Sun County. Trevor Woods had a great game. He had a shutout. He was really strong in the game. But the other goalie, Jack Listen, had good stats in the tournament. So Oakville's kind of a good defensive team. Like, I've noticed a lot of low scores with them, and yeah, they're kind of good at shutting down the other team. Luke Hamilton got a nice snipe goal, and Andrew Jovanovic got a nice snipe goal as well in the 2-0 win there. Couple guys on Sun County that I thought looked solid were Dylan Wiggle, number 14, defenseman. He was strong. He's listed as a left wing here, so I don't know if he was playing out of position, or if he's just a versatile player, or if this is wrong. But no, he was solid. And like Liam Carlone on Sun County as well. Like, he's really powerful, really, really good at driving the puck and rushing it, and like, kind of holding guys off. Like, he's powerful. It's hard to break his plane when he sets it and gets those wheels in motion. Yeah, so what else we got? That's that game. And then the last game I'm going to talk about is Cambridge versus Burlington. And I was filming one of my favorite players in the age group, Tyler Graham. Basically ISO filming him the whole game. We put a video of that on Instagram. He actually got a goal, which was really nice. And I didn't have the camera running, but right before that goal, he stole the puck, and then just walked in and scored. And he's just unreal. Like in the clip, there's a good clip that shows his puck protection skills. He really can protect the puck. Like, he's a strong guy. Like, he really big, like, kind of like wide set, and captain, wears number 98. Like, he's just a beast. So so sneak peek for next week, we're gonna have him on the pod. So so we asked him for an interview, so that's gonna be fun. And yeah, like also with Cambridge, what else we got here? Oh, Carter Merritt. Carter Merritt got an unbelievable rush goal. He was just flying like on the wing, like kind of like he blew by the D like they weren't even there. It was unbelievable. He finished the play, and so Carter Merritt, like he's a player that really kind of caught my eye. Jake Skutka, number 37, center, really complete, skates really well. Like I hadn't heard this name yet, but he's really, really good. And then a couple of guys that were all right were Nathan Catalano and Cameron Fries, or Freeze, however you want to pronounce it. So yeah, no, those guys were they were solid. Like, but Jake's like, man, he's pretty solid. Like, I don't know, I'd be looking out for him going forward, and Carter Merritt, and of course Tyler Graham. But yeah, but then Cambridge or Burlington, sorry, they were playing Burlington. Burlington got 2 goals. They lost 3-2. There's just a couple guys I like. Ryder Cook, number 19. He's 6'4", big body, skates well, like really, really good, kind of quick feet and quick hands for a bigger guy. I kind of like the skill set he brings. And Owen Cambridge is one that stood out to me for a while, number 92. I think there's something there. Like, I think he's got, like, he's really got good puck skills. He skates well. I like the way he thinks the game. Like, my advanced kind of scouting on him, like I think he could be one that goes under the radar, but people should definitely be watching out for him.
Awesome.
That's it. I think that's all I got, man.
Hey.
Yeah, Carter Merritt. Wow. I wrote like a whole page about that goal. That was unbelievable. Really good player.
That's awesome. Just tremendous coverage there, Ryan. Just amazing work there with being taken the whole weekend there with being in Kitchener. I mean, just once again with the Kitchener Blueline tournament. Congratulations to the North Bay Trappers U16 AAA team on a tremendous tournament and their championship there. Congrats to the Toronto Young Nationals on a great tournament. They had a well fought. I mean, you don't lose in overtime. It's no slight to lose in overtime. Like, there has to be a loser in some game in a tournament final. So they had a tremendous tournament there. The Young Nats did. So just a tremendous tournament overall. Congrats to both those teams in the finals, and congrats once again to North Bay on a tremendous tournament win. So with that being said, though, Ryan, we'll jump into our interviews here that we got set for this episode here. Our first couple interviews, we're gonna do things a bit differently for this kind of episode with the 2 interviews we got here, because we got a couple guys who are from the same team out in Ottawa there, from the Navin Grads U18 AAA program. So what we're gonna do here, Ryan, we had Ben Cormier and Nathan Villeneuve on, and we had a fun couple interviews with these two, and interesting dynamic with these two. These guys are so tight, like basically they're the boys with each other. So it's like, so what we're gonna do with this interview for our listeners is we're gonna play. We got the Ben Cormier interview up first, and right after we're gonna run the Nathan Villeneuve interview for our audience. So without further ado, we'll let our listeners and our audience, whether you're on YouTube or the podcast platform, here's the interviews with Ben Cormier, and then followed up by the interview with Nathan Villeneuve. So here they are. All right, we are now joined on the U16 pod by star forward from the Navin Grads U18 program, Ben Cormier. Ben, how's it going, buddy?
I'm great. How are you guys?
Oh, terrific now that we got you on the podcast, man. Just the top scorer in the rookie scoring in the HEO U18 and second overall. I mean, just an incredible start to the season. You solidified yourself as a top prospect for the 2022 OHL draft. It's started off for the team, for us, me and Ryan in particular, at draft day, with just the tremendous success you and the Ottawa boys had there. And then you carried it over into the HEO U18 season with, like I mentioned, just the scoring rate and scoring pace you've had. Just can you talk to us about kind of the start to your season here and how everything's been going for you guys in Navin over there?
Oh, it's great. Like, our team, like at the beginning of the year, we thought we'd have a really strong team, and as you can see, we do. But we still have some, like, things to go through over, like, the big teams. We've played some a bit of the teams at the bottom of the league. So making our way and making sure we play against the really good teams. Like Nepean was our last opponent, and we've got some things to work on, but it's been a really good start to this season for us.
That's great to hear. I mean, just recognizing the fact that you guys have had success, but there's also room for improvement because there's lots of season left to go there. So it's great to hear that kind of perspective there. And then I mean, just jumping in your game here, there's lots to talk about. I mean, first off, the power and explosiveness that you generate with your skating stride, the strength in your game with that is just tremendous. I mean, besides maybe some skating exercises, what other type of training stuff do you look to do to keep building on that explosive motor that you got?
Well, in the off season and during the season, I train a lot in like explosive power. So a lot without weight, but I do some weight training. But when I want to work my power, I really do like explosive movements.
Oh,
So that keeps my legs going.
that's terrific. Just the balance there of some weight training, some non-weight training, as well as you got the on ice stuff, which is always terrific as well. And then I mean, in addition to your skating, you're just a strong power forward. I mean, you protect the puck so well. You're physical down low. You use your body well. I mean, just what's helped you kind of become so physically strong and so exceptional at protecting the puck down low like that?
Well, I think it's really like in practice and off the ice. Like off the ice, of course, like I train, but in practice, like I really work on those things, like protecting the puck and making sure like I have the good ability to protect the puck and go around the defense and making good plays. So that really helps me to put through in games.
That's awesome. That I a lot of the things I see with hockey coaches, specifically like when I'm on Twitter, a guy like Jack Han on Twitter, he always talks about kind of like games, in practice stuff translating to games. Do you find like you guys do if you guys do one-on-one like battle drills and stuff that helps really to help translate to to the game for you?
Yeah, of course, it's huge.
That's all. That's terrific, and I know Ryan would definitely agree for me. Anytime you're going one-on-one in a corner or something, or even down the wing driving to the net, the defense is definitely in trouble when he's driving down, eh, Ryan?
Oh yeah, and like honestly, you're just excellent at stick handling in tight spaces, especially around the net. Like you finish at like a really high clip. How have you become like so elite at just finishing and like making good on your chances?
Oh, I don't know. It's really become this year. Well, in practice this year, I've really focused on the scoring touch, like making sure after my shoot, it's in the back of the net. So I think that's really gone through in games, and it's been huge for me this year.
Yeah, no, it's been huge. Like you're putting up huge numbers. Draft day, you were unbelievable. Yeah, just awesome. But if you had 3 words to describe yourself as a player, what would they be and why?
Well, I've got the motor, like I've got
Yeah.
exceptional
Oh yeah.
skating, and I find with my skating, my brain can go at the same pace. So I've got the high hockey IQ to go with it, so I can make plays at a high pace, and I've got a pretty good shot. I can pick the corners whenever I want, so it's pretty dangerous having speed, a good shot, and high hockey IQ.
Oh, that's awesome. Like the high IQ, it's really noticeable in your game. Just in a variety of different ways, defensively, offensively. Yeah, it's good stuff. Is there anyone in the NHL or in the show currently that you model your game after?
I want to say Braden Point of the Tampa Bay Lightning. He's
Nice.
yeah, he's a really
one.
good skater, and he's got the scoring touch, but also the playmaking touch. So it's he can go both ways. Like you never know if he's gonna make the play to score or to pass the puck. But yeah, it's really deceptive.
Yeah, that's a good one, eh, Connor?
Oh, I love Braden Point is one of the best players in the league. Just his
Unreal.
two-way game, the way he's able to finish, the way he's able to kind of just people don't see like he's not always at the top of the like scoring board, but like you said, like he's just an overall great player who has a complete game there, which I think you're at the top of the scoring board, but you've also got a really complete game as well, which is incredible to have for yourself there. But I mean, how would you say your teammates and coaches describe you as a player, not only on the ice but off the ice as a teammate as well?
Well, I'm a leader off the ice and on the ice. Like I'm wearing an A this year with Villy, and we're like really hard on our teammates to do better because we know it's gonna take a lot to win a championship this year. So we really like bear down on them in practice and make them work hard and we work hard ourselves in practice to show a good model for our teammates.
That's tremendous. I mean, the fact that you and Nathan Villeneuve both got an A there. I mean, that's just, especially as 06s and probably couple of the youngest guys on the team there. I mean, what did it feel like to get those A's from Navin there?
Yeah, like my hard work's paid off throughout the start of the season, and just working hard in practice every day. It's nice to see that someone like cares and shows that we're good leaders.
I mean, that's tremendous. It just says so much about you, not only as the player that you are on the ice, but also as a teammate with the leadership abilities that you have. Just one of those intangible qualities that I think OHL teams would value so much and all that. But then, I mean, we'll change gears a bit here. Do you have any superstitions, maybe any pregame routines that are a must for you?
Oh yeah, every game. So I come to the rink, I go to the vending machine, I take a rock star, and usually about 30 minutes before the game I drink it. And I don't get dressed till like very late. We have to be ready like 10 minutes before we go on to talk to the coach. I usually get dressed 20 before. I take my stick around 25 minutes before the game and then get dressed.
Are you a guy where it's just like a quick and easy dress, like you just like pop it all on really quick? I know some guys, they better get dressed much sooner because they're gonna take their sweet time getting ready. Whereas other guys like yourself there, I guess, where it's just like you can put it on quick and there's not a worry in the world whether you go early or late to get dressed, eh?
Yeah, exactly.
That's awesome. I mean, we'll jump in to some non-hockey stuff here, get a little bit of more fun questions here. Who would your favorite non-hockey athletes and non-hockey sports teams be?
Oof, non-hockey athlete. Well, it's got to be in the NBA, Steph Curry. I'm a bit of a bandwagon for the Warriors there, but I watch a lot of their games and he's just exceptional. Like, it's crazy the stuff he does.
Man, he put up a 50 spot recently. I don't even know how he does what he does. I remember my grade 10 teacher in the basketball unit, he told us all, he's like, Steph Curry's the best player in the league, but never watch his shot. His shot isn't textbook. And then he failed me on the free throw test. So he did not set me up good there, but I was always like, Curry, just shoot. So
yeah,
I love Curry then. The Warriors bandwagon, I hopped on that bandwagon before the Raps won the championship. So I was in the same boat there with you there. So that's awesome. And then another fun one here. If you were at a karaoke night, what would be your go-to karaoke song?
Oh, I don't know about that one, but I want to say "Yeah" by Usher.
Oh, yes.
Nice.
That's a big high-paced song, and you can dance to it and sing along.
Yeah, that's a good one. In the Navin room, we asked the Navin boys last year about the aux. Who would you say has got the? Are you someone who will take the aux, or who's got the aux in the Navin room this year?
Billy's got the aux, but I think
Billy,
we have to fire soon. We need a new guy.
Are you serious? Oh my god. The tune's not up to par there?
No, it's the whole team's on it too. Like, I think we need a new guy. Might switch it next weekend.
Billy's cut.
Oh
yeah.
That's awesome. You heard it here first on the U16 pod.
Yeah.
He's amazing on the ice, but the tunes, oh my goodness. Oh, that's terrific. I love that. Oh my god. But listen, Ben, oh my gosh, that's terrific. And just thank you so much for joining us on the U16 pod here. I mean, just best of luck with the rest of the season with Navin. I know you guys are gonna have a lot of success this year, and best of luck with your road to trying to win the championship there. And best of luck at the OHL draft as well, man. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me on. It was great.
All right, we are here with star forward Nathan Villeneuve from the Navin Grads U18 AAA program. Nathan, how are you doing?
Good, you?
I'm doing great, thanks. It's great to have you on. This year, you're on an absolute tear, and you're one of the top prospects overall for the 2022 draft. And you've been incredibly hot recently, so the last couple of games. So now you're sitting at, what do you got? 13 plus 15 for 28 points in 15 games. Wow, that's really impressive stuff. How has that transition been for you? Starting off the year with Navin after coming through from the Junior 67s program.
It was a lot different playing with older guys and some that came from rep being up, but it's been good so far. We've come a long way.
Yeah, no, that's good. Seems like you're a tight knit group, and like you've obviously gelled together early in the year. And I mean, Connor and I, we saw you at draft day, and the first shift of the game, you drove wide with that speed and power, beat the D, like you just showed off your power, especially with your skating and your shot. And combined with that, like in other plays that I've noticed, like you have really, really quick like feet and hands and like really highly skilled and like you're just always, it seems like you're always able to like get yourself into prime positions to like generate scoring opportunities off the rush. Can you give us some insight into how you like develop all those skills?
Yeah, of course. In the summer, I work with Taurus Hockey, and he works a lot with my skating and like how I shoot the puck. So without him, like it wouldn't be that good.
No, that's good. Yeah, he works with a lot of like high end guys, eh?
Yeah, with Barless, Matt, and all them like that.
Yeah, no, that's cool. Yeah, no, I was talking to him a while ago, getting some inside info on all these Ottawa guys. I was excited for this year, and he reached out. So yeah, that's a great place to be at.
Oh, Ryan is completely correct there with regards to just Torres hockey really helping him out there, and it's definitely showed on the ice. I mean, as we jump in, Ryan's mentioned so much there in that last question, just about your abilities on the ice. I mean, just your offensive creativity is another aspect that we just love. I mean, it's just remarkably high end. You got the excellent vision. You're able to just hit the passes. Um, I mean, you make great reads in real time to find clear passing lanes. Just whether it's your forehand or backhand, you just find them from any angle, any situation. Just where does this kind of puck distribution passing really come from for you?
Well, I like to watch McDavid a lot, and McDavid likes to use his teammates a lot. So I just try to like involve my teammates, even though if I could do it myself, but I like to like get my teammates involved and create more space for myself, and it
That's
helped me a
terrific.
lot.
That's terrific. I mean, what did you think of McDavid's dirty dangle there against the Rangers?
Oh, that was crazy.
That's, I mean, just taking that aspect of his game because, like you mentioned, there he's just so good at finding his teammates and all that. And then, I mean, just another aspect of the game here what we love to talk about is, I mean, just your positioning in the D zone, just to be so strong offensively. You're so reliable defensively with your positioning and all that. I mean, you're just tremendous two-way forward in addition to being just a lethal threat offensively. I mean, can you give us some insight into how you're always able to keep yourself in prime position to make a defensive play there?
Yeah, well, I always think of my team before myself. So I know that defense wins championships. So it all starts from the D zone. And once we're all settled and we have a good breakout, then we go attack offense and get some scoring chances off that.
Oh, that's a phenomenal answer there. I mean, just I think Ryan would agree with me here. I mean, just the mindset there, doing what's best for the team, but also understanding that like a good defense leads to a good offense, which I think Ryan and I have heard that phrase. It's just in extra outside of hockey. It's just remarkable, and I think Ryan would agree with me there. With that's just an outstanding perspective to have at your age. You just show so much maturity, right, Ryan?
Yeah, like all the best players, they say that they know that how important defense is. And the first team that came to my mind was the Baltimore Ravens. So not even hockey. So like it applies to other sports, like you said, Connor. And like I think of the New Jersey Devils and how they kind of changed the game with the way they played. And so defense is huge. I mean, like we've talked a lot about your game and the different attributes you bring to the table. But if you had 3 words to describe your game yourself, what would they be and why?
I think I can describe my game to be intelligent, mobile, and powerful. Well, I think I can be intelligent because I can make very smart plays in the offense, defense, or neutral zone. I'm mobile, so I can play any position except for goalie because don't want to save a 100-mile-per-hour shot. And I think it's very powerful because I have a very quick release and I can pass the puck pretty hard to get it across the ice.
Oh, those are perfect. Like powerful, definitely see it. Mobile, all of them, they're perfect stuff, eh, Connor?
Oh, I mean, hey, the goalie, though, I will agree with you. The goalie position, I will not take that up. I would not take that one up
No.
either. I don't know how those guys do it, but just phenomenal 3 words there from you, Nathan. Just awesome 3 words to pick there.
So, looking at the NHL, are there any players in the NHL you model your game after?
Well, I've heard a lot of people say that I'm kind of like a McTavish that just got drafted in the NHL
Oh,
this
yeah.
year. I've heard that people say that I'm a guy like him, and I've watched a couple of his highlights. He is a 200-foot player. He likes to lay the body like I do too. He's a scorer, and he's also very good defensively.
Good, yeah, that's very good. Like, I love the McTavish one. Yeah, that he was unbelievable. Like, I remember I saw him. He came down for the Marlies tournament. They had the Ottawa All-Star teams, and I'm hoping they have them with you guys this year, but it's not looking too good, eh, Connor?
Yeah.
We're kind of holding our breath, but it's not looking good.
Yeah.
No, Ryan's right. We wish personally, based on where we're located, we could see you guys a whole lot more, because especially Navin with you and Cormier on the same line there, which is just God help the other teams whenever you guys are on the ice together. So, I mean, what else can you say? I mean, just tremendous couple players you picked. Before we get into the fun ones, we love to ask this to different players and all that, because everyone has an off day, whether it's in life or even in hockey. So, for you, when you have a bad game or an off night, what kind of some ways you like to deal with kind of a bad game there?
To be honest, I usually just chat with my agent or my advisor, because whenever I have like an off game, sometimes I get really frustrated, and it like affects how I act and stuff like that. So usually, like before and after the game, I give my advisor a little call, and he just tells me like, it's okay, you just because you didn't get any points or whatever, you still had an okay game, and we'll like take video up after and stuff.
I like that mindset. I mean, just the idea that, hey, let's put this game behind us. We'll look at what went right, what went wrong. I mean, it's
Yeah.
remarkable to have that perspective there, which is terrific, in that sense of the word, and have someone you can talk to after a game if you feel the need to do so, which is incredible. But we'll pivot to some fun questions here for you. First one for you: if you could transform into any animal for 24 hours, which one would you transform into?
To be honest, I'd want to transfer into a dog,
That's a
Nice.
good
just
one.
just so I can like see how much fun it is to annoy your like family and stuff. I don't know. It'd be
That's
cool.
all. That's awesome. Do you have a dog yourself?
Yeah, and it's super annoying. So
That's
I want to
that's
see what
Barks
it's
a lot?
like. Pardon?
Does it bark a lot?
It doesn't bark in the house, but outside it barks a lot, like nonstop.
I mean, that's a good one. My cousin's got a couple dogs, and I've always wondered what's going on inside their head there. Because
Yeah.
sometimes what's going on there, you're questioning it sometimes with some of the stuff they're doing. But I mean, not a bad choice. I mean, a man's best friend is a dog, so that's awesome. So, but last one for you here. So we got a chance to talk to your teammate Ben Cormier, and he took a couple. He let us know that the team isn't exactly overall, what's the word, pleased with the aux, and we heard that you got the aux score. So we'll give you a chance here to defend yourself here with you getting the aux. So we'll give you the floor for the music
All right.
here. Let you defend yourself.
All right. Well, I like to play some songs that maybe Ben doesn't like, but it gets me fired up. So, and no one offers to play music, so I always take the leadership and play the music. I'll give Ben the props on that. He's the one that brings the speaker all the time.
Oh,
So.
okay. There you go.
I can't really defend myself about Ben. Sometimes it's awful, but
Hey, I mean, if whatever gets you fired up, if it's working, it's working, which is
exactly.
great. So, I mean, what is your go-to music before a game, or even when you're in the car there?
Well, on the way to the rink, I usually listen to like country and sometimes like pop music, but like when it's at the rink, I just throw on the Navingrad's playlist. It's just hip hop and all. But sometimes there's like a country song that comes on once in a while that they don't like. But then over the room, I can't really control that.
Yeah, hey, I mean, if it's a Navigrass playlist, hey, they're all involved in that then. So hey, can't
Yeah.
exactly throw you under the bus too much there. I mean, it seems like you and Ben got a really good relationship there.
Yeah.
Do you guys push each other a lot there?
Yeah, we do. Like a couple summers ago, we're like challenging ourselves who can lift more weights, who can shoot harder and stuff like that. So we just challenge ourselves all summer and just develop off that.
Everything's competitive, eh? Like all the time.
Yeah, we're always competitive with each other.
That's cool. Yeah, pushing each other, right?
Yeah,
That's
always.
that's awesome. I mean, I love seeing that teammate rivalry. Sorry, I can't speak tonight. Oh my goodness, but it's always good to see that rivalry because ultimately you guys both benefit from you, especially as top players. You guys feed off each other with the points and on the ice with each other, feeding each other passes. Whether it's you picking up an apple or him picking up an apple, whatever it is, it's phenomenal to see, and it's clear you guys got tons of chemistry there. But
Yeah.
hey, I mean, listen, Nathan, we've taken up so much of your time here tonight, and we really just want to thank you for coming on the U16 pod. Just best of luck with the rest of the season, Ottawa with Navin. Best of luck trying to, on the road to a championship there. And thank you for coming on the pod.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, and we're back from our two outstanding interviews with Ben Cormier and Nathan Villeneuve from the Navin Grads U18 AAA program. Just first off, I mean, couple outstanding interviews, getting to talk to them. I mean, both of them kind of taking little shots at each other there, with the Ox especially. It's great to see the camaraderie that exists between the two of them. I mean, we got to see it firsthand, the chemistry that the two of them have and the type of games that they have at draft day. We get to see that in person. Then you see that on highlights, you talk to them, and it really just it's as genuine and real as it seems with the chemistry and the brotherhood that they have there at Navin with that regard. But as we kind of played those two back to back, we'll start with Ben Cormier and breaking down him a bit here because they're both similar players. But starting with Ben Cormier, just with him, he's got an aggressiveness to him, but also his goal scoring ability that's different from Villeneuve in the sense. I mean, last year we got to talk to Matthew Paris from Navin, and I made the reference for anyone who listened to that about Matthew Paris not having a lot of penalty minutes and being a Lady Bing in the U18 AAA loop there. So you could say that same thing about Ben Cormier here with the aggressiveness that he has and the offensive abilities, but he's got 0 penalty minutes so far, 0 PIMs, which is huge. So Lady Bing candidate there with the offensive abilities he has. That's outstanding to have that kind of discipline, I guess you could say, as well as that aggressiveness, I think, Ryan.
Yeah, and like to be like he's got 29 points. He's like you mentioned, the top rookie scorer in the league. So he's got that target on him, and so guys are on him, and he's not retaliating. So I like that. I really like that a lot. Like not taking those unnecessary penalties. And Cormier, like I was going through the draft day videos on my hockey TV, and I didn't get to see. Obviously, you don't get to see all of the games of one team. Like I only saw like 2 games of the Ottawa team, but I didn't realize how many points and goals he got in the event. Like he got a shootout goal. Like he kind of beat the goalie. He's got a lot of finesse. Like his finishing ability is really good. Like in tight around the net, he'll get the puck and he could be in a tight space, quick stick maneuver, and then boom, right in the net. And those skills, like being able to get off those shots quickly and to be able to finish effectively like that, it really translates at the next level. I think Cormier, like he's always buzzing. He's got a great motor. He's got so much pep in his step, like kind of that stride power and that jam that you want to see. Like he's 6 foot, 178. Yeah, like really, really strong player. Like he drives wide effectively. Like he is aggressive. Like I remember thinking like he's getting into it and getting after it. So like it surprises me he has 0 PIMs. But that's actually like really impressive, actually, to be honest.
No, it is, and it's a level of aggressiveness. It's a different level of aggressiveness. Like one might think, hey, aggressiveness, this guy's just like a bowling ball, rolling, going everywhere. But no, he's got controlled. I describe it as controlled aggressiveness. You know what I mean? So it's like, which is great to see. And you talked about his skating there, the power that he has. He's got that separation speed, that acceleration, the explosiveness where he gets that space. And he's got the finishing ability, which, I mean, you can tell by the points he puts up. He's got 17
Unreal.
goals, 12 assists. So he's got the ability to finish, which you want to see if for someone who's going to be moving on to the next level, possibly, well, not possibly, probably OHL level with that finishing. Someone who can capitalize on the chances when they get them. If he moves into that open space, and as soon as that puck's on the stick, it's off just like that. So Cormier is just an incredible player. I mean, projection wise, it's so tough, but you can't. I don't think you can put him lasting very long on draft day in terms of when he'd be picked, right, Ryan?
No, like, I mean, to play that game right now at this point in the year is really tough. But I mean, even to like say like which one like you would draft, like Villeneuve or Cormier, like I don't think I've seen them enough to know.
There's no wrong answer though. There's no wrong
Yeah.
answer. That's the best part. Like Navin must be
True.
like head over heels right now because there's no wrong answer with that regard. You got two incredible players and two impactful
Yeah.
players.
Yeah, and like everyone I talk to, like I talk to a lot of people from out in Ottawa, and like depends on who you talk to. Like some like Villeneuve, some like Cormier. But I mean, just them together, like they're such a dynamic duo. The chemistry is just off the charts. Like you can tell that like they really get along. Like even like them throwing shots at each other, like, and then even like when we were off. Like we weren't recording, we were talking, and they were kind of talking about their season so far and how it's all been going. Like they really get along, and it's really noticeable, like how they play on the ice. Like they great chemistry. Both are excellent skaters. Like I'll get into Villeneuve a little bit more here.
Actually, yeah, go ahead. Let's get into Villeneuve. Why don't we?
Yeah, yeah. Well, we could go back to a bit about Cormier as well, but just to get into Villeneuve a bit, 6 foot, 183, so fairly similar measurements. And wow, like he is a wrecking ball. Like if I was a defender and I was like, I don't know, like kind of going back to retrieve a puck and he was coming in hot on my heels, I would not be comfortable. Like he throws huge hits. Really, really aggressive, really physical, gets after it. I love it. Like I think he's that forecheck pressure, that puck pressure, like there's no time. There's literally no time for defensemen to make any decision. It's basically just try to ice it if you can. but like Villeneuve, like when I think of his scoring ability, like I think of that big tap, like that firecracker release on that snapshot. Like it's just like that draft day goal, like just ripping snapshots, like wicked shot release, unbelievable trigger. He's got like that long strides, like the skating, like so much power. Like both of these players, like I mentioned with Cormier before, they have excellent jam, excellent get up, and that acceleration is like super high end.
Oh, just great points there that you made there. And I remember watching the first time, and the first thing that came up is the energy that Villeneuve plays with.
Oh yeah.
You can see
Good
the
point.
love he has for the game and the passion that he plays with because he's always bringing the energy, whether it be in the D zone, whether it be in transition, whether it be just like you mentioned there with the forecheck. He's always bringing that energy nonstop till his shift is done. Then he gets his rest, and then he's back on. It's bang, 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 moving constantly, and it's great, especially as you talked about offensively, but defensively with the two-way
Yeah.
game that he has as well, with the impactful. He's willing to block shots. I think I put some block
Oh
shots
yeah.
highlights in the video there.
Yeah.
In our interview there, we did have some technical difficulties there, so we put a lot of highlights in there of Villeneuve. But regardless, he blocks shots. He's got that big physicality that you love to see, laying those big hits, getting back. If he loses the puck, you're damn sure he's going to get it back. He's like a dog on a bone with that energy. So, I mean, it's great to see that with that regard, but it's like you mentioned with that shot, like it's just lethal. Like, I don't know how many times I've seen a highlight of him picking the left side of the net. It doesn't even have to be just the top. Like, he just lets it go so fast, doesn't give the goalie time to sit up, and he gets into the open areas. But, I mean, the power, the explosiveness, the separation speed, it's not fair sometimes for the other team because he just goes by him and it's just like a gimme.
like I'm sure the goalies like that are facing him have that scouting report that he's gonna go like just under the glove or just over the glove. He likes to go there like or like just like even if you know it's coming, like
Yeah.
like you can't like it's like it's one thing like if you know it's coming, like you might be able to set up to stop it, but then if you kind of overcompensate, you might just do something else, right? And even if they know it's coming, like I don't even know if you'd be able to see it.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
oh,
Like, it'd be like a blur, like it makes the puck disappear when he shoots it, right?
oh. You're exactly right with that regard. I mean, it's just offensively, both of these players are just, I
Yeah.
mean, a nightmare to deal with if you're the defenseman and the opposition. So, but they're also both. I mean, Villeneuve, such a, I think is overall a very complete player, especially with his defensive awareness, his positioning in the D zone, his quickness, his stick work there. Cormier in and of himself is also no slouch defensively, might I add. So, both of these
Yeah.
players are tremendous players. Navin is a, I mean, should be, and they are incredibly happy to have these two guys on their roster because
Oh
it's
yeah.
just they put them on the ice together and magic happens. So, I mean, just tremendous to have these two guys on the pod and get to talk to them, get some insight into the game, whether it be what they do on the ice, the work they put in off the ice. Because it is worth noting these two guys are grinders off the ice. They put in the work off the ice as well. I gotta say. But I mean, in addition to just being grinders off the ice as well, I mean, just they're also making an impact above the U18 level. I mean, these guys, Nathan Villeneuve, just made his first appearance in the CCHL with the Navingrads Junior A team, and Ben Cormier is set to make his appearance soon. So that's some big news there, and I know they fit in great there as well, right, Ryan?
Oh yeah, like they're ready for the next level. Like they're gonna go right into the OHL next year. Like CCHL, like they're gonna have effective games. Like I think that Cormier was saying that he got to a preseason game with
Mm-hmm.
CCHL with the Navin junior squad there. So man, I don't know. I want to get down to Ottawa and watch them. Like I was asking them, I was like, oh, do you guys think that thing's gonna happen where like HEO sends the all-star teams? And they're like, I don't think so. So that's kind of too bad that they're not coming down, but I guess I got to bite the bullet. Eventually, you're gonna have to get down to Ottawa for games, and because before I had that, so like it was kind of something you could do and at least get like some looks on these guys, but now like this year I might have to get down to Ottawa. But man, just to watch them play, like I think of like Cormier, those powerful crossovers, that unbelievable skating, like just those edges in and out of tight spaces. Like he's just like a dart, like just a gun, like absolutely flies. And Villeneuve, like so powerful. A lot of the similar things, like he does the same thing, like really powerful crossovers. A lot of power generated like in their skating stride. Like can't stress that enough. How excellent they are, like overall as skaters, right?
No, absolutely. So it's just remarkable to watch them play in that regard. So I have no doubt their transition to being AP players in the CCHL is going to be
Yeah.
smooth. I have no doubt they'll transition nicely into the OHL as well. So on that note, though, we'll wrap up this portion of the Navingrad section of our interviews here. Just once again, a massive thank you to Nathan Villeneuve and Ben Cormier for joining us on the U16 pod. Massive thank you to Ryan Woodward, who helped provide much of the highlights we've got. Just the amazing work they do out in Navin with Ryan. He puts together so many highlights. So be sure to go check out his YouTube channel, Ryan Woodward, on YouTube there. Type in Ryan Woodward Hockey. I don't know how many Ryan Woodwards there are in the world, but just in case, it'll specify it a bit. But just can't thank him enough for helping provide some of those highlights with that regard. And can't thank him enough for helping us set this up and get these Navin guys on. We had Barless, Buckley, Paris on last year. It was so awesome to talk to those guys, and he helped us last year, and it's so great to have these guys on this year with that regard. So once again, a massive thanks to Ben and Nathan, and massive thank you to Ryan Woodward for helping to put this whole Navin section together with that respect. So, but we'll jump into our next interview now with another tremendous player. I mean, where do we stop here with tremendous players, Ryan? Our next player is from the Toronto Marlboros. Our first Marlboro of the season here is Carter Lowe. Big time forward with the Marlboros. So without further ado, here's our great interview with Carter Lowe. All right, we are now joined on the U16 pod by star forward from the Toronto Marlboros U16 AAA program, Carter Lowe. Carter, how's it going?
Pretty good, you?
Not too bad. Pumped to have you on. I mean, you play on one of the most prestigious, well-known U16 AAA programs, I mean, in the world, being with the Toronto Marlboros. And in addition, I mean, you guys are in the G. I mean, just can you talk to us a bit about the culture that you guys have there on the Marlboros and just what it's like in the play against the best of the best, not only in practice, but also in games within the G there?
Yeah, I mean, the Marley's culture overall is like, it's insane. I'm truly lucky to just be part of a great organization. And they've had a big history of very talented guys, McDavid, the Hughes brothers, Tavares, Spezza, just a bunch of them. And the membership of the organization is pretty serious. Like Friday night home games is like, can't be beat. And I mean, we're all just training to get better. All of our teammates, we kind of build off each other. So, I mean, yeah, it's good.
That's sick. And I mean, you guys got your own special dress room too, don't you, at Canland?
Oh yeah, the minor major room. It's sweet.
Did they just renovate that for you guys?
Yeah, Woody's dad, one of the guys on the team, you repainted it and stuff. It's nice.
That's sick. That's gotta be the rink itself isn't exactly enjoyable in terms of temperature wise, but I'm sure you guys got the best room and seat in the house when you guys aren't on the ice there. So that's pretty I'm jealous of you guys with when you guys got that room there. So that's pretty sick. And then I mean, in addition to playing with the Marlboros, you've gone into some action with the St. Michael's Buzzers of the OJHL there. Can you talk to us about kind of your experience there playing with them and what that was like for you?
I mean, yeah, it's just why I actually go to St. Mike. So I knew a few of the guys just from going to the school. But overall, they're really nice guys. And the style of play there is just like, they're obviously much older. So they're all just faster. And the decisions have to be made way quicker, or else like you're going to be getting taken out by 20-year-old men. So, I mean, yeah, it really helped me just like making quicker decisions, moving faster. Yeah, that's about it.
That's sick. I mean, I like that point you made. If you're not moving fast enough, you're gonna get taken out. You're gonna get taken out with some 20-year-old dudes there. So, I mean,
Yeah.
Ryan would agree with me. That's great preparation for the next level there, right, Ryan?
Oh yeah, definitely. And I mean, with you, like your tool set, like you're a player, you have like incredible size, like strength, speed is a big thing for you, as well. Like in different situations, how do you like to use those I don't know, those natural raw talents? Like how do you like to use those to your advantage on the ice?
Yeah, I mean, I like to rely on my speed a lot, like just coming through the neutral zone just to try and burn the Ds, a lot like McDavid would. Just to, and then I also like to cut in, just drop my shoulder. And yeah, I did it against Thunder Bay yesterday, where like the D just got caught, I guess. I don't know. Wasn't fast
Yeah.
enough.
Yeah, well, they can even keep up with you. Like the one game I was at, you had a breakaway, and I'm pretty sure you split the D. Like they weren't even there. So, you know, you're unbelievable. Like with your size, strength, speed, all that stuff. But in addition to that, like you have really incredible finesse, and also a really good shot release. What has been key to like developing that soft touch and just being able to like capitalize and finish in tight and like I mean you can also shoot from a distance and score like how do you develop those skills?
Yeah, for me, it was just a lot of on ice stuff. Like overall, the winters, me and my buddies will just go to like the outdoor rink right near my house, and I'll just be
Oh
sitting
yeah,
there all day, all night, pretty much. And then another thing is all the like opportunities I've had, I guess, where it's like tournaments, like
Right.
family day, 3-on-3s. I like to just go to everything pretty much.
Nice. Yeah, one of the things we noticed like when watching you play is you exhibit like, I don't know what it is. It's like it's this confidence, and it shows like just in your like posture and like your presence on the ice and all that. You're almost like a leader for your team. Like, where do you think you get those qualities from?
I don't know. I feel like me and my brother kind of share this, like, I'd like to say swagger, but I
Yeah.
mean, I'm not quite sure, but I feel like it's a lot of just me trusting my teammates and them trusting me. So I feel like we kind of build off of each other when it comes to that.
Yeah, no, definitely. Like, you're brimming with confidence, and you should be because you're a heck of a player. And we use the swagger word for Malcolm Spence because he's like a similar player that like he's got that confidence on the ice as well. So like that's a perfect word for you as well. And just keep that up. Like that confidence will take you far for sure. So like looking to the NHL, are there any guys in the show that you like model your game after and I don't know, kind of like take things from their game, put it in yours?
Well, yeah, growing up, I always used to love Ovechkin just because I feel like he played with such like also again swagger. He
Yeah.
would throw the body. It was just really fun to watch. But I mean, now it's also kind of McDavid just because he's just insane. His speed, just stick handling, everything, way he sees ice. So I mean, I try and build off of both of those guys.
Yeah. I mean, Connor would agree. Those are pretty good ones, eh?
I mean, you can't get much better than those two. I mean, Ovechkin just hopped tall on the all-time goals list, and then McDavid just scoring dirty goals all the time. So I don't think you can beat those two guys in any form whatsoever. So, and they both got, I'd say McDavid subtly, but Ovechkin, I mean, like you mentioned, the swagger is just, I love how you brought the word swagger because swagger is a word I love to use with that regard. And it shows on the ice, especially I know at the Markham turn, I saw you pot one. You guys were potting one. You go by the bench. You get the fist. You gotta go by the bench with the train there. Get that going. I love seeing that. So that's sick. But I mean, we'll get into some fun ones, some lighthearted questions here. If you weren't playing hockey, what would be your go-to sport?
Probably baseball. Even right now, like I still play baseball just with my buddies, and I kind of like baseball. And then maybe even basketball, just because everyone always asks me if I play basketball. So I'd have to give it a try.
Yeah, you're pretty tall. How tall are you now?
Yeah, I'm about 6'3".
Nice.
Jeez, I
Can
guess.
you dunk?
Nah, I wish. Close.
Gosh, hey, you're probably closer than me. I can barely get to the freaking net sometimes. It's my height. I'm barely. I don't even touch 6 foot. Are you kidding me? You guys walk by. Your team as a whole in the Marlies are like big boys. I was like
huge.
walking. You guys were walking by me at the Markham turn one time. I'm like looking up. I'm like, okay. I was like, Jesus, I need to get some like bigger shoes or something because you guys are so big. I was like, oh my God. But that's like, you guys are a scary group of guys on the ice, man. Like, that's nuts. But it's great to see that multi-sport athlete kind of in you there with the different sports you're able to play. And then the next one for you, if you were to make a movie, if you were to have a movie made about you, which actor would you want to play you?
Probably Keanu Reeves, just because he's a Torontonian. He's also just like a badass, pretty much. Does whatever he wants. And even over COVID, I was growing out the long hair. Wasn't quite as good, but I mean, it was close.
That's a phenomenal answer right there, Keanu Reeves. Did you watch him and John Wick there, all those movies?
Yeah, I watched all of them.
Those, that's a great answer. I love that. That's Keanu Reeves. That's gonna be one for the ages there with him. So that's a great pick. And then last one for you, just as we look towards the rest of the season for you. What is one thing that you're looking forward to most as the rest of the season comes along here?
Yeah, well, we got the silver stick coming up, so I'd say that just because I don't like to think too far in advance, especially with the COVID, how it shut down our season.
Oh yeah.
I might just stick to the silver stick. I think we're going to be very good. Right now, we're still just kind of building up the team chemistry from the start of the year. We've had a few good wins. So yeah, we're just adding to the fire.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's a great mindset to have, especially given with the pandemic there, you don't want to get too far ahead because you never know what can happen with the government shutting down. So I mean, the Silver Stick, you guys can be a dangerous squad at Silver Stick. I mean, Ryan and I both got you guys as favorites in the group you guys are in the Silver Stick there. So I mean, all the other teams better watch out because you guys are looking to make some noise there. So, but I mean, we've taken up a lot of your time. So listen, Carter, just thanks so much for coming on the pod. We really appreciate you taking the time. I mean, just best of luck the rest of the season at the Silver Stick and in the rest of the G year. And best of luck at the OHL draft.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for having me.
All right, and we're back from our interview with Carter Lowe, star forward with the Toronto Marlboros U16 AAA program. And I mean, I know he came from the Mississauga Senators previously, but joining the Toronto Marlboros, having the Marlboros having him join them automatically vaulted them onto another level with their squad. And he's just been an impactful player with them this season. I mean, first off, when I first saw him, I thought of some intangible attributes when I was watching him. We talked about with him the swagger, the confidence, almost like the leadership that he has on the ice. Just watching him kind of operate, he's just like a too cool for school kind of guy. Just, he's skating around the ice like, hey, yeah, I'm good here. Yeah, I'm gonna put this puck in the net, and then I'm gonna go by the bench and give you the old whoop kind of train there. So, I mean, just the intangibles that he brings with those qualities is remarkable for a player, but also on the ice. I mean, 6'3" player. I mean, the strength that he has, the power that he has on the ice, plus the finesse, it's remarkable to watch. He uses that strength down low, especially in the corners, to his advantage. He's aggressive down low, which is huge for a player of his size, I think, Ryan.
Yeah, definitely. And like I was chatting with his advisor, and he's just like a raw athlete, right?
Mhm.
Like when I had that conversation, the person I was talking to said like there's a lot of untapped potential there. Like he's
Absolutely.
really good as he is now. He skates fast. He's got great hands. He's got great finishing ability. This and that. Incredibly good, and he knows he's good. Like he's just unbelievable, right? But like there's that untapped potential, like that kind of like it's like that kind of like that rawness feel to him a little bit. But like I don't know, like some of the plays he does look pretty polished. Like the one play I mentioned in the interview where like I was at the game against the Titans, he basically burst through the D, like split them like they weren't even there. And then like at full speed, he just kind of like made a quick kind of side stop and like just opened the goalie up. Like it was unbelievable to watch. Incredible player. Like I'd say the power game is a big strength. Really strong. Like in terms of like, I mean, like we were saying with Villeneuve earlier in the analysis, like getting after on the forecheck, laying the body, like that big body. I don't have his measurements here, but he's big. Like he's
He's about 6'3", 185, I believe, at this moment, according to the roster card.
He's huge. Like, and he looks huge on the ice. So very intimidating presence. Very tough to deal with. Like down low on the cycle, working the cycle. He's really good. The Marlies team, a lot of his teammates, the forwards, like they're maybe mid-size or like just like above mid-size and like really good skaters. And then they even have some smaller like skill guys. So he complements like that team, like as an addition, he complements that team so well. And we in preseason weren't expecting the Marlies to be top 5 team. Like we both had them. Like I had them 10th.
I think we both had them 6th, actually. We might have both had them.
Oh yeah, I had them 10th actually, but that was before.
Yeah, that was preseason. So
that was before the Markham tournament. I saw them at the Markham tournament. I'm like, no, they're not 10th. Like I didn't know. Like it's tough, right?
But now it's like you can't like
top 5.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think a big reason why they're like a top 5 team is that addition of Carter Lowe.
No, absolutely. And I think one big thing too is he's still gonna fill out some more too.
Yeah.
Like he's a big kid, but he's also still, I think, like he's still a bit of a lanky kid too. So he's still gonna fill out. So that strength is gonna become even stronger, which is gonna then create more opportunities for him to just push guys off the puck, even though he already does it at times. But he's also for a guy of his size, he's also got that finesse and that range of motion that is really nice. That with some tall guys, some bigger guys, they don't necessarily have that range of motion. They're kind of a bit more stiff. For him, not at all. Like he just moves that puck with ease. When you mention him cutting through the middle like that, be able to maintain that puck, manipulate the puck, kind of maintain possession consistently, no matter where he is. Sets himself up nicely, puts himself in good positions with that regard. And then he's got that shot, a really nice shot that I think might be a bit underrated in terms of him being able to use it. He loves, I noticed on the power play, he loves kind of the curl off the boards there, almost like you see what kind of Matthews does on the power play, or even McDavid does sometimes, where they just kind of curl off the boards there, come down from the point, and then they pick it up and then they just rip it. He's got a tremendous shot too, which I think people might underrate with his size, with what he does with his size and what he does down low there. But the finesse and combine that with the finesse and the shot, it's just a dangerous player overall. And it's like you mentioned, it's just raw. Like there's so much untapped there, and it's just remarkable to see, I think. But he's also a heck of a player defensively, two-way too, with his long reach. He uses that really effectively, gets a stick in the right lanes, deflects passes, causes turnovers, I think, as well, Ryan.
Yeah, definitely. Like, he's a complete player. He does a lot of things really well. And I think you nailed it with the analysis. Like all that stuff you said was great. Like, I couldn't agree more. Like, that team, that's a good team. Like, he's probably, like, for me, he's probably like the top Marlies forward. Maybe even the top player on the team. Like, it's hard to say. Like, Dickinson is really good, the defenseman, big defenseman, really, really good player. But man, it's gonna be fun to watch the Marlies this year. Like, I'm pumped, like, to get down and to see them, like, face JRC in the Sens. Like, I think that they'll be competing. Like, I think that those games are gonna be any game between those three teams. It's gonna be really, really fun to watch. And then when you get into tournaments and you throw like Quinty into the mix, like, let's say a Quinty versus Marlies game or something like that. This top five teams, like in the overall U16, and especially this top three in the DTHL, really, really exciting teams.
Oh, and it's just, imagine when the playoffs come around, one of these two are probably going to have to play each other. One of these 2-3 teams are probably going to have to play each other at some point in the semifinal.
Yeah.
I'd imagine, barring something unexpected, or, I mean, North York's still in the mix too. Markham maybe has got a heck of a squad. North York, when they get Kevin He back especially, they're going to be back up there in the mix for giving everyone a run for their money. So it's the G's competitive this year. The Marlies, it's always fun when the Marlies are competitive with the, just the so synonymous with, the McDavids, the Tavareses, the Gagnes, all those players, just the Marlboro's organization itself. It's great when they have those kind of big players, and it's great when they have such that success there, just because they're so synonymous with U16 AAA hockey. So we are really excited to be able to see them at the Silver Stick. I think both you and I really anticipate they're going to have a successful Silver Stick there. I think that you and I both have them as kind of a favorite in their group there, at the Silver Stick. So
I'm really excited. I want to see that game with the Marlies and Windsor. That'll be a good game. Because we haven't seen Windsor much, so like that'll be a big test for Windsor, and like it'd be a sneaky tough game for the Marlies. But yeah, no, they're definitely favorites in the group. And Carter Lowe, like not only is like he's such a great player overall, like he just like he's a good person too. Like he comes off like really respectful, like really, really good kid, and
confident and respectful.
That's what I was gonna say.
Like it's a mix. It's not he's not a cocky player, and he's confident and he's respectful, and he's got a genuine love for the game of hockey, which you love to see from a player, no matter what, because you love to see a player who has a love for the game with that regard, I think. Yeah,
like he's got that quiet confidence, like considering like how good of a player he is and who he is. If he scores, like he'll do a big celebration and whatever, but everyone does that. But he's not like
easy scoring goals.
He's not over the top like on the ice. Like he's got a great demeanor on the ice. Like really, really like kind of good like on ice presence, and like that quiet confidence. Like, and man, when he's off, like good luck trying to stop that.
Oh, absolutely. So I mean, he's also getting. So we mentioned in the interview there, he's also getting in time with the in Junior A, in some Junior A games as an AP player with St. Michael's Buzzers. He goes to St. Michael's school itself. So it's overall just a lot with him getting that experience in Junior A. It'll only help him when he translates, looks to kind of advance to the next level beyond just U16 AAA. So there's a lot to look forward to with Carter Lowe in that regard. So with that being said, again, just we really want to thank Carter for taking the time to talk with us, the insight he gave, kind of the personality as well, get to know him off the ice as well. So we really appreciate him taking the time to talk with us in that respect. So on that note, we'll wrap this episode up here for our audience members. So once again, we'll provide the social medias like we usually do, the Instagram and Twitter at the U16 Pod. Be sure to follow us on there, like the posts, check out the videos. If you got any videos, feel free to send highlights. We love to kind of check those out and then kind of pop them on social media as we get the chance here throughout the season. If you're looking to send a message, feel free to, any inquiries, email us, u16pod@gmail.com. Once again, please send those as respectfully as possible. Listen, guys, we really just want that respectful kind of thing again. So, if you're looking to follow myself or Ryan on social media, you can follow me on Twitter, Instagram at cwilliams_384, and you can follow Ryan at Ryan P. MacArthur. We're both producing awesome content on Twitter, and then we're also we got our fun stuff on Instagram as well. Instagram's a lot of fun there too, Ryan.
Yeah, it's good. The one thing I wanted to bring up, just apologies to the listeners for the late episode this week. We had kind of circumstances beyond our control, like we kind of tweeted out there. So thanks for bearing with us. We want to stick to that Wednesday schedule every week on Wednesday and keep that running that way. But just you and I, it was unavoidable. We had to delay it. So yeah, so that's that. And then, I mean, I just saw something, Total Sports Quinty just threw us in an article. They had a magazine come out, their newest issue, and on page 10 and 11, they mentioned us and quoted us. And yeah, it was good. It was kind of nice to see that, because especially after all the rough messages we got this week, right, Connor?
Oh, absolutely. So we always appreciate the positivity. It really helps brighten up our days. So
Yeah.
we thank everyone who messages positive messages to us, whether it's a little fire emoji on Instagram. We see those fire emojis, those reactions. We love them and we appreciate them. So with that, on that note, thanks so much for listening to this episode of the U16 Pod. We'll see you on the next episode.
Yeah, take care, everybody.